Jai Jinendra, everyone. I hope you guys are having a great Das Lakshan. As we said, today I'll be talking about Jainism's take on the occult and paranormal. And I would like to preface this saying this is actually a very obscure topic, at least based on online sources. I've had a hard time finding a lot of information. So Michhami Dukkadam if I've said anything incorrectly or am not going very much into detail. But this is just to give like a brief overview of any take at all for Jainism. So the first question is, do we believe in ghosts or bhoot? The answer is a little complicated. So yes and no. So we do have a term called bhoot in Jainism. However, it differs significantly from the pop culture or Hindu definition, or even any other religion. Most cultures view bhoot as the spirit of somebody who has died. Jainism actually views bhoot, it might look similar, which is why we've labeled it bhoot or ghosts, but they are actually not literal spirits of human beings that have passed away. They're actually something called a Vyantardev, or a celestial being. And the reason why I've not picturized it from the Jain interpretation is because I've not been able to find any images and I don't want to mislead anyone. However, based on the Tattvard Sutra, I've read that devtas can be whitish, yellowish, bluish, greenish, and even blackish in form. But yeah, that's a bit about what they look like. So before I go into more about Vyantardevs, I thought I'll go over the types of cosmic beings or members of the Devlok. There's 4 types. There's Bhavanpati, Bhavnapati, Vyantar, Jyotshika, and Vamanaik. And Vyantars are the ones that we associate with paranormal activity. So actually, before I even go into, all of this stuff, I would like to say the general take for Jainism is human beings as ghosts. There's no such concept of that, because we believe that as soon as we pass away, our souls immediately move on to the next life in less than a second, in fact, in a fraction of a second. So there's no such thing as, if you guys have popularly heard, bhatakti vyatma or anything of that sort in Jainism. And any sort of paranormal activity, we attribute it to a particular type of devta called the Vyantar Devs. And there's various classifications of the Vyantar Devs. I'd like to say not all of them are bad. There's a misconception that all Vyantar Devs are bad. For example, there are a lot of yakshas and yakshinis that are not bad. They in fact protect religion and protect people that have faith in Jainism. Examples like Padmavati Devi, Chakeshwari Devi. However, a lot of these Vyantar Devs they can be evil. And there's also another concept called Van Vyantar Dev, which is like forest dwelling type of Vyantar Dev, but they also have 8 classifications. But these are, I would say, these are the main ones. So some descriptions of those 8 main ones. There's something called Kinnar, which is a deformed human, according to the Tattvard Sutra, the English translation. There's something called Kim Purush, which is deformed person. I'm not really sure what the difference is, but I noticed that they were specifically written differently. I'm guessing this is more generic. There's Maharog, which are great serpents. Whereas Gandharv, which are musicians. Yaksha, which are demigods. Rakshas or demons, bhoot or ghosts, and pishach, devils. I'm very curious as to how much they intersect with the Hindu use of these words. Like words like yakshas, rakshas, bhoot, pishach are very prevalent in the Hindu religion as well. And I wonder if they look like the same thing but are conceptually different or whatnot. If anybody knows, please put it into the comments or comment after the presentation. If you guys are curious about where these Vyantar Devs are, in case you guys don't know much about the Jain geography, there are 3 main subdivisions. There's something called the Urdhvalok, which is above, and that's where you have the celestial beings and the Siddhas, or people who have attained liberation. Then you have the Madhyalok, which is where you have all the human beings, animals, plants, these kinds of things. And the Adholok, which is below, and that has all the hellish beings, and there's 7 levels of it. This one's called the Ratna Prabha level, and right above it, you have the Vyantar Dev. So although most celestial beings live here, these Vyantar Devs have the ability to go up and down, and they tend to reside a little bit above this Ratna Prabha, or first level of the hellish realm. And the Van Vyantars tend to be a little bit above, further than the Vyantars. So these are my sources. Again, I didn't go too much into depth, but if you guys are interested, I would recommend checking out these 3 sources. And of course, if anybody knows any other sources, please do comment them, because I'm curious myself. Thank you.